All right, let's sit over here because I'm gonna need a little privacy for what I'm gonna be talking about in a minute regarding Shanny. This is gonna be a very sensitive video for some. So if you're in a place where you can't hear certain things, I suggest you know what, I haven't done this in a while. Let's do that. This thing will probably break if Shanny sat on it. But anyway, I want to talk about this latest video that Shanny made, at least the one I saw on Graveyard Flowers anyway, where she's once again talking about the Palestinians, the Jews, the United States of America, and she's talking about Trump and Biden. Um, and like I said, this may be sensitive to some people, so just be ready. All right. Um, so let's start off here first, just to get a little bit of a background. Shanny wasn't always the way she is today in terms of like how she presents herself on the internet, right? She was a way better actress when she was dealing with Chris. But when Chris cheated on her, actually, let me say this too before I get to the Chris cheating on her part, because this is important for the stuff that comes out of Shanny's mouth and how to deal with her. When Shanny used to upload a video to her Shanny for Christ YouTube channel, Shanny struggled to get 100 views. And I'm talking about a video that would sit on her channel for, let's say, 6 months to a year. She would struggle to get about 100 views on her Shanny for Christ videos. Her and her ex-husband, Chris, or what we called them back then, Chafee the Eye, would make YouTube videos smoking their cigarettes and talking about certain things. And like I said, they would struggle to get 100 views. The reason why so many people started talking about Shanny as hard as they did is when Chris cheated. Shanny took off the mask. She stopped the acting that she was doing, and she got on here and really started showing who and what she really was. She started drinking on camera, started getting drunk on camera, started smoking on camera, put all of her dirty laundry out for everybody to hear. And she wasn't trying to hide it no more. She was flirting with everybody, flirting with men, flirting with women. Once, well, she wasn't flirting with the women quite yet. That would be later. But she was flirting with a lot of men. I was one of them. All right. And that's when a lot of people started talking about her. And when people started really getting irritated with her, it wasn't because Chris cheated on her and that. It was because she got involved with Rev. All right. And when she got involved with Rev, that was a nuclear fire. Not to mention a lot of them were coming after me too. And at that time, I was friends with Shanny. Where am I getting at with this? Shanny doesn't know how to be a public figure, and she doesn't understand what popularity is. She believes that she's this movie star and this popular face here on social media. And Shanny said, hey, I'm going to hurt your feelings a little bit, Shanny, because you're going to find out what you really are. And you are not this popular superstar or whatever. And Jason, you need to hear this too. Hopefully you're man enough to for her to let you finish hearing this entire video. If not, I'm pretty sure you'll hear it through the grapevine. And there's going to be a message in this for Teddy Bear and the other people that are financially supporting her. So when she got involved with Rev and it became painstakingly clear to a lot of people on here, not to all of us, some of us, it took some time. You know what I mean? That Shanny was being a gold digger and that she was just with him for the money. Jason knows this is true, but depending on whether or not he's mad at her or not, you ain't going to actually hear that from her. I might have to stop talking about this in a minute. Children come in this part because I'm going to be talking about things I don't want them to hear. Let you guys see in a minute. Hold on. You see the kids over there? They come in here. I can't talk about this. So anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, she barely had anybody talking about her. She got involved with Jason. It turned out that she was using him for money, and then Dragnet and all these other people were focusing a lot of attention on her. And she took this as being, popular on YouTube. And to a certain extent, I can understand where she's coming from because a lot of people didn't like me either. And I thought that made me popular on here too. But then again, I think our circumstances are a little different because they were literally trying to cancel her. They were literally trying to cancel her. But Shanny is coming out with these political views and political stances that are extremely anti-Christian, anti-Christ in nature, and are very anti-American in nature. This woman literally got on here again and said that if anybody um, says they're going to vote for Trump or they're going to vote for Biden or they're going to support Trump or they're going to support Biden, then you can't be friends with her. Shanny, I hope you're paying attention to this part because, like I said yesterday, you said you've always known I was stupid, right? Okay, so anybody who supports Trump and anybody who supports Biden should not contact you, shouldn't have it. You don't want nothing to do with them. Okay. And on top of that, you don't believe that the Jews should be allowed to come to America? That was a very interesting statement that you made, Shanny, that you don't believe that the Jews that live in the Middle East should not be allowed in the United States. You see, that sounds like another person who thought he was popular, who is hated around the world, and his name was Adolf Hitler. And you and Jason, because you guys believe you have the right to say whatever you want, are starting to sound like him. So not only can't Trump supporters be involved with you or talk to you or anything like that, but neither Biden supporters. And now anybody who supports the Jews can't have anything to do with you? Shanny, let me explain to you why you're stupid. And by the way, Teddy Bear, I'm going to talk about you for a moment, all right? I got to assume you agree with her. I have to assume, now some people might think I'm being a bit extreme, but hear me out. I got to assume you agree with her because I know you're the one you're buying her McDonald's and you're the one buying her certain things. And Jules, I'm sorry, Jules, I got to put you in this. You're a racist woman that you're supporting. As a matter of fact, the Geek Room, but honestly, I don't even need to bring them up. We already know they're racist. But there are people out there that are financially supporting them and helping them and allowing this. You see, at least when I was doing this, they would have got a phone call from me and they would have been told, don't you get back on YouTube and say nothing like that again. They would have been told that by me. And I would have made a disclaimer video saying just because I'm cool with them, don't mean I support that. Teddy Bear, I'm dying to hear what your opinion is about what Shanny said. And Teddy Bear, if you want to save face, this is what you can do, dude. Which I'm pretty sure you won't, because I think you're too stupid to do it. But they might destroy whatever career you're trying to build on here. Because now I got to start thinking, dude, that you might be racist yourself, since you're supporting somebody like this. And I'm serious, dude. Why don't you make a YouTube video? I'm sorry, not a YouTube video. My bad. Let's do that second. I don't know if you are a registered voter or not. Why don't you tell Shanny whether or not you support Trump or whether or not you support Biden or whether or not you're going to vote or not, and then let her know what your opinion is about sending. I'm sorry about whether or not the Jews should be here in the United States of America. As a matter of fact, everybody who donates to Shanny should do that. How many times do those people have to be persecuted and have to be threatened to be wiped off the face of the map before people start showing some empathy and some compassion for them? You know, Shanny, that thing you talk about love. We all know you're only talking about yourself. You're not even talking about the man you sleep with. You're only talking about yourself, right? But when are these people actually going to get any sympathy or any support? And since you don't want to be around nobody, Shanny, who supports the Jews, I got news for you, honey. Supporter. Right here. Supporter. Me. Okay? And yes, I'm going to vote. And I'm going to vote for either Biden or Trump, more than likely Trump. But you know what I mean? But I don't particularly care if you don't want to be my friend or have anything to do with me, because I'm going to remember you said this. It's like I didn't forget the other racist garbage that you said on social media. You can't get on here and say stuff like that. And the people that are financially supporting them, you got to understand that you're in bed with them if you're supporting that kind of stuff. The second part of this video I want to get to is this. Jason and Shanny haven't changed one bit. And let me explain why I believe this. How many times have we heard Shanny say that she apologized for this and she apologized for that? And we heard Jason apologize for this and Jason apologized for that, right? When Shanny went from being utterly impoverished and poor, and then she got involved with Jason and had close to $1 million at her fingertips. I would say during that time about 700 to about 750, maybe $800,000 when they first. No, I would say about $900,000 from when they first got together. If we're talking about cash and assets, if you're talking about cash, then yeah, maybe only about 700. We're talking about cash and assets. This dude was almost a millionaire. Borderline was a millionaire. And you saw how Shanny talked to people. You see how how Shanny. I want to talk about Shanny first because this is important because Jason wasn't always getting on social media talking this way. How Shanny got on here, she belittled African Americans. How she got on here and she down talked the poor and she belittled all of them simply because she got some money in her pocket. And she thought, again, because she had money, she can get away with anything. Even going so far to believe that she thought she can bribe the police. How many of you saw the arrest video where she said to the police, if there's something that we can do so I don't have to go to jail? I believe that she was attempting to low-key bribe one of the police officers, personally, because she thought that money that she had was something that could solve all of her problems. And just the way they talk to people and the way they belittle people and the way they act around people. Shanny went so far to say to me that I can't even say that a man shouldn't have long hair, and said after everything that she did for me, as if all of that money that, not all of the money, but the house that was given to me was a means of controlling me and stopping me from talking about the things I care about online. That's a good exercise to open up the hips. I said, that's a good exercise to open up the hips. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, gotcha. Okay, I put it in there. All right. Okay, so, all right. So, yeah. I mean, Shanny was belittling everyone, and then when Rev was in his wet brain or coming out, the time when he was in it and he was coming out of it, he was just repeating what Shanny said at the time. And he was getting on here being racist. And then when he came out of the wet brain, that's when we really started understanding what was going on in his heart and how he really felt about minorities and everything. You see, this is the problem when you don't disagree with the person that you're with and you don't do it publicly. People will assume that the two of you agree with each other on things. I'm going to say this again. This is the problem when you don't publicly disagree with people and do it in a way where people understand that I don't share this person's opinion. And I'm sorry, Jason, I got to believe that you believe the same things that Shanny believes. You come out and you said that you're, and now you're a anarchist type communist now. And the reason why you're a communist is because you have a belief that is anti-Christian, it is anti-Christ. It is anti-Christ, and thinking that other people should take care of a grown man. That's the only reason you even care about communism. What you don't understand is that if this country was actually communist and Shanny came out and said the stuff that she said, she wouldn't be alive no more. They would have took her to the firing range by now. Neither one of you understand what communism is. They would never tolerate Shanny's mouth in that kind of society. Not in a million years, and we all know it. They would have took her out by now. And they would have took him out by now. Those two don't even know the philosophy of communists when it comes to certain. A lot of the things about the Bible would never be tolerated in a country like that. Why do you think a lot of people who are secularists don't even want to live here no more and end up moving abroad? Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. The point is that they haven't changed. They lost all of that money, and because they're comfortable, Understand this, because they're comfortable. There is no pressure on them to get their own place. They believe that they can get on social media, particularly Instagram, and say whatever they want. I would say this is what was happening when they was living in the second or the third place that they got when they were living in Colorado. And Shanny just stopped caring. I mean, and she went like fall off nuclear, calling people the N-word and started doing all kinds of disgusting stuff during the Colorado days. This is no different. They're comfortable. They believe that they can say and do whatever they want. And you want to know who I blame for this? The uncle can only take so much responsibility for this because he Jason's his nephew and he loves his nephew and he's going to want to take care of him. So you really can't put a lot on him. You can't really blame. You can't really sit down. You really can't sit and blame the city that they're living in. The people that I blame, and I believe I have an extremely strong argument for this. And I want to make sure I properly talk about these people. Are the people who originally were going after Shanny and Rev and now they look like they have changed their stance on Shanny and Rev. All because they want to get at Carrie. How do you go from making video after video after video after video about Shanny being a bad mother, and then you're bragging about how you said all the same stuff that Carrie said and everything and whatnot, right? And you're getting on here saying that you tried to get people to not support them and whatnot. They're doing a complete 180, where now you're actually financially supporting them now, and you're thinking the things that they do is actually okay. BGTV. Jules tells all, burnt toast. The geek room, and like I said, the geek room shouldn't be too big of a surprise because we all know where they stand on race and everything and whatnot. They've shown it multiple times on that horrible, disgusting platform they call a YouTube channel. They're the biggest. They're just as big as hypocrites as Shanny is, as far as I'm concerned. I always like this part. But anyway, they're the reasons why they're that Shanny and Rev are doing the things that they're doing. Because Shanny and Rev believes they got the financial supporters they need to continue to do what they're doing. Imagine if they wasn't receiving any donations. Do you think Shanny would get on here and say these kind of things? You think Shanny would be a little bit nicer to other people? Scientist Sam is somebody on here I don't like. Okay, and a lot of you know that. Okay, but Scientist Sam happens to be Jewish. All right, and Scientist Sam made a racist joke on here, but I'll tell you this. Scientist Sam shouldn't have to cut his computer on. The same way nobody should be hearing his George Floyd joke. Scientist Sam shouldn't be cutting his computer on, hearing Shanny say the stupid stuff that she's saying. And the people that he's associating with, his friends, are the people that are financially backing her. These friendships on YouTube, I don't understand them sometimes. I really don't. I don't get and I don't understand how you can sit there and financially back somebody saying that the Jews shouldn't be allowed to come to this country. Oh, she has the freedom of speech. She has a right to her own opinion. Oh, you're right about that. She's definitely right to her own opinion until you start talking about her and expressing your opinion. Particularly about her. Now, this video is being recorded on YouTube live right now, but I'm planning on putting this video on Instagram once I learn how to do everything I need to do on here and whatnot. I think I gotta have a certain amount of people sub to it or whatever before I can do that. But the point is that Shanny has gotten so out of control again that she believes she can cut her computer on. And by the way, Shanny, let me tell you why what you did was ultra stupid. Why you're threatening people with lawsuits and all this other stupid nonsense and whatnot. You know, you were sitting right by the window when you said that stuff. You know, it's only a matter of time before one of your neighbors hears the stuff that's coming out of your mouth, right? It's only a matter of time before one of your neighbors understand just how racist you really are and how anti-Semitic you are. Now, I'm not really familiar with that part of the world that much, but it would be very interesting to hear what would happen to somebody in that particular society if they all knew that you was an open racist, not just to African Americans, but now to Jewish people. Like when I was listening to Shanny, I thought I was listening to somebody who was part of the SS. When I was listening to Shanny, I thought I was listening to somebody who was part of the Red Army. Sometimes when I'm listening to Jason, he sounds like it sometimes. But then again, he is German. And Shanny, this is why you need to be exposed. You sit there and you talk about 1 minute, you make videos and you start talking about somehow everybody got to love each other and everybody got to forgive. And we should have peace on earth and kumbaya, my Lord, and all those other mess and whatnot. And then the next minute, you're trying to restrict people who can come to the U.S. You're trying to restrict people from their rights. But the second it happens to you, is a big problem. You're being persecuted. Oh my God, what was Shanny? Woe is Shanny. No, Shanny, I personally believe it's time that these people need to cancel you again. And I'm not talking about simply taking you off Instagram, because honestly and truthfully, all you're going to do is create another account either on Instagram or some other platform. That's all you're going to do. What Carrie should do is do what I did and start an Instagram and then simulcast both on YouTube and Instagram. And not only Carrie should do it, I think Draven should do it. And anybody else who actually has a voice in this matter in terms of trying to expose you and to stop you from the con job that you are applying here on social media. Rev, this is how you do Rev News. This is how you expose something on here. You don't just start smoking a cigarette and just start blah, 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 blah about politics and about governments, and you don't even know how to spell those words. You don't even know how to spell these words. You don't even know how to properly pronounce them. You don't know how these governments work. Yet you want to sit there and you want to talk about, who should have the right for this and who should have the right for that. Utterly ridiculous. Sit over here. Just utterly ridiculous. Like I said, I'm not one of these people that is angry or upset that people are donating to Shanny, because I know it ain't my money that's going to them. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to say that a part of my income went to supporting two anti-Semitic racists who sound like supporters of Hitler. You're not going to say that to me, because they wasn't saying this trash when I was friends with them. And if they would have said this trash, they would have got a phone call from me and I would have stopped them. And I would have educated them about the stupid stuff that's coming out of their mouth. But since only people who don't support Trump and people who don't support Biden and people who are have a certain opinion about what's going on in the Middle East, let Shanny know where you stand in all of this before you donate. Let her know where you stand in all of this before you donate. Teddy Bear, let her know if you agree with her stance on things. Then make a video going after Carrie again and talk about why she's a bad person again. And look like an even bigger hypocrite than what you look like right now. Because where I stand right now, Teddy Bear, you're looking very suspect right now, dude. Jules, so are you. And I'm gonna stick on you for a little bit, Jules. Jules, I would like for you to explain to me, considering your past here on social media, considering the things that you talk about on your channel, how you can stand back. I don't even care if it's 50 cents and support that racist nonsense, because that is what you are doing. Don't say that G-Man's being brand new with his attitude regarding giving and all that stuff and whatnot. Remember, I'm the same person when Dragnut was going after me and other people, when I said that the people who are financially backing him are actually supporting him and believe everything that's coming out of his mouth. I'm the same guy who said that too. So there has to be a public outcry, whereas I don't support. Even when you make your YouTube videos, I'm telling you guys, some of you are being set up. That's why I'm not playing the audio. I'm not playing the audio on my channel. You can sit there and believe you're going to be protected by fair use if you want. You'll wake up one day and YouTube will take the video down because somebody was flagging you. I believe that certain things are also being said in the extreme that they're being said to take down your channels. I've been doing this for too long to fall for that trap. Some of these little traps that they're laying right now, I'm walking right into them because they don't have enough information to realize what they're doing or what they're not doing. So they're not really traps to me. They're like little mud holes or whatever. You know what I mean? So some of the information they think they got isn't as accurate as they might think it is. Trust me on that. Anybody's paying attention to this video and know my history. You guys see all the sweat under my arms here? It is hot where I'm at. Over here in Union. I'm gonna say Union. I'll have to show everybody. Hold on. Show everybody. It doesn't make a difference. Nobody knows where I live, so I move around way too much. You can see right there. That is how much juice I got. I'm literally daring people. You know what I mean? So, because I want to use the information I got. That's what it is. I want to use the info I got. I'll make them wish they wasn't born. But anyway, by the way, before you start typing things in, oh, we know what city you're in. Alias. I'm not stupid. I've been doing this for a while. But Teddy Bear, my challenge to you is do you support Shanny's anti-Semitic political views? And do you support her views on African Americans? And do you support her views on the office of president in the United States? Notice I said the office of president. She don't believe that anybody should be voting for anybody. And Shanny, I want to talk directly to you now, Shanny. You do understand what a cult is, right? There are there's a group of people out there called the Jehovah's Witnesses, right? And some of them will say they're Christian. Most of them know they're not. And they'll just say that they're Jehovah's Witnesses or whatever. But one of their views is that you can't join the military, you can't vote, and you can't celebrate any holidays. And the Jehovah's Witnesses are considered a cult. Some people might say false religion. I think that they're more like a cult. You just got finished telling everybody that they shouldn't support government at all, Shanny. How am I supposed to view you now? You keep talking about how you're a follower of Jesus. Give me the commandment where Jesus said that a person is not supposed to vote. Where's that commandment at? You keep saying you read your Bible 20 times from front to back, just like these other arrogant people that I end up talking to on here sometimes, but don't even know these topics and forms of doctrines. Where in the Bible does it say that we're commanded not to vote? Where does it say that? Maybe you should stop reading from front to back and go read Romans 13. And there's a couple other things that you should probably go read. I never once heard Jesus say, don't vote for this person. I'm sorry, not to vote for this person, but I never heard him say to stay away from the political system altogether. And if I can be blunt with you, Shanny, the only reason you're trying to be controversial on social media is because you two are laying around in the house and you're thinking, man, nobody's donating because all we're doing is we're cutting our computer on and we're begging for money. And then one of you one day, ding, came up with a bright idea and said, we have to give them some content and then we can beg. So you get on here and you start showing people what you really believe and what you really think about things without really knowing it, just so you can get a whopping $10. You know why I call you cheap, Shanny? That this is what your soul cost. This right here, this is what your soul costs. This is the cost of your soul. It's not worth a lot. Yet you say every man out there wants you. This is what your soul costs. This right here is what your soul costs. $10. What is this? A bag of potato chips, a pack of Little Debbie's, Pepsi, a bus ride. And I think that's about it, to be honest, depending on how many zones you want to go. Things are pretty expensive these days. I mean, it's not like you're asking for real money. You're asking for $10. You're selling your dignity and your integrity for $10. Kind of like your OnlyFans that you would actually giving it away for $8. And nobody wanted to buy it. $8 whopping dollars. How you doing? A whopping $8. $8. And you're selling yourself out for $10. You know, if Jason wasn't so lazy and he would actually go out there and go collect some cans, he can make about $20 if he got one of them big construction bags and actually start crushing up the cans, start putting them in the bag, and then take them to the recycling place. He can actually make more money doing that than he is wasting his time getting on here selling his soul for $10. You know why I know about that? Because I used to do it myself. I used to do it myself. Anyway, let me see what you guys are saying in the comments. They want me to do a podcast with they want me to do a podcast with Dusty Smith. But here's the thing though, okay? Some people and I noticed that Carrie's in the chat. Let me get my banners back up so I can focus. Okay. So I hear a lot of people, I don't know if she heard me say this earlier, so I'm gonna repeat this again. People coming after Carrie saying that she only talks about Shanny and this about Shanny, but at least Carrie is calling Shanny out on these things. And Carrie is not financially supporting the racism that is clearly coming out of the mouth of Shanny. I can't say that about you, Teddy Bear. I can't say that about the Geek Room and about Jules and some of these other people. I cannot say that. Not one video has come out. Well, you know, I don't politically support anything that Shanny says, and I definitely don't agree with what you said about the Jews or anything like that. So I gotta assume you agree with it. Carrie doesn't. Draven doesn't. These other Drader, I believe, doesn't believe any of that stuff. So don't give me that G-Man simping nonsense. You know? But these, it is mind-boggling how they have learned nothing from Boulder, Colorado. They have learned nothing. And history is going to repeat themselves. Only this time, when I think when Shanny gets arrested for whatever she does this time, it's going to be for years. It ain't going to be for no couple of days. I think the next time this woman gets arrested, she's going to jail for a long time. And I think the same thing with Jason. He's going to get locked away for a long time because neither one of these knuckleheads want to learn about anything. They don't research anything. They don't see. They don't do anything to protect themselves before they say anything. There are no disclaimers. They don't do any of that. Watch your YouTube channels when you're reacting to them. I'm telling you, they're gonna do a flag campaign. They're gonna do a flag campaign. Watch your back, protect yourself. Start putting in the beginning, this is a disclaimer. I do not necessarily agree with the people, with anything that the people are saying in this particular video. When you're reviewing me, I do not necessarily agree with any, it protects you. You can say, did you not read the disclaimer? I don't agree with the things that's being said. That's why I didn't want to play that stuff on my channel, because I'm telling you, I just got a hunch. I've been dealing with these people for too long. Long good. I'm listening to Shanny too much. My goodness. Good. Protect yourself. I'm warning you. I think Dictator might be on to something when he deletes his live streams after he makes them, or if he puts them on private or whatever. Protect yourself when you're dealing with these people, because some of these people on here, anything and everything that you say can be used and twisted for their own personal gain. All right? But Shanny needs to be canceled. She needs to be eliminated. And no, I don't mean she should be unalived or nothing like that. I'm not talking about that. She needs to be eliminated in the sense of having a voice on social media. If there was a person who no longer has the right to get on social media and express her views and her opinions, it's Shanny and it's Jason. Because they're abusing this privilege that they have. They only can sit there and say that I have a definitive right to do this if they owned the platform, and they don't own squat. They don't even own a roll of Scott's toilet paper to wipe her butt. All right? So it is a privilege to actually be on social media, and they got to start watching their mouth when they get on here and say the things that they're saying. Because now people are going to respond to them. Some people are going to react to them. And then some people are going to take action against them. And their supporters. That's why I think their allies are a joke, an utter joke. Can you imagine Shanny saying all of that, and then tomorrow I get a cease and desist letter, and they want to take somebody like me to court? I'd be like, Judge, just listen to this a minute. Just listen to this a minute. Shanny, did you say this? No, I do nothing wrong. Listen to this. This is what she thinks about Black people. This is what she thinks about Jews. This is what she thinks about you. It's utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. And Jason, I want to thank you for saying the things that you've been saying about me. I want to thank you for calling me effeminate. I'm gonna close with this. I want to thank you for calling me effeminate, and I want to thank you for disrespecting me, and I want to thank you for coming at me and worshiping Shanny and doing all the things that you're doing, because I genuinely and sincerely felt sorry for you. I pitied you. I felt bad for you, because Shanny basically came into your life, and let's just face it, she destroyed it. You were better off as an alcoholic. I say that on here a lot. But if you go take a look in the mirror, the person that you are today is not the person that you was before. And I no longer pity you. I am no longer empathetic towards you. Okay. The only thing you're going to get out of me is me wanting to see you get saved, because you're not saved. There is zero evidence of that. Zero. You need to go through even more hardship for you to understand what it is that you're putting out there. You need to go through even more. And Shanny needs to go through even more before you finally get it. You need to go through more. And I believe that Shanny's destiny is to be behind bars. And you know what, Jason? Your verdict isn't out yet, but you know what? You're getting dangerously close to being, your destiny need to be behind bars too. Neither one of you have any real respect for the law. Neither one of you have any real respect. And stop talking about love, Shanny. Yeah, the Bible talks about loving your neighbor, but you don't even love Jesus' ancestors. Jesus was Jewish himself. So we shouldn't allow the Jews in America. Jesus was of the tribe of Judah. The Apostle Paul was of the tribe of Benjamin. The 12 apostles were all Jewish. McFly. You sit there and you cry about Palestinian children getting killed, and Palestinian this and Palestinian that, but you don't seem to care about what happened to the to the people that are living in the land of Israel. but we're supposed to love one another, and we're supposed to have peace with one another. And this is what you want me to learn, Jason? This is what you want me to learn? How to be a hateful racist like yourself? 200 years ago, 100 years ago, 50 years ago, being black in America wasn't all that great. Let me tell you something. With the era that we're living in now, I would cut that out if I were you, Jason. I would cut that out if I were you, Shanny. Because justice is a coming. It's a coming. It's coming. So, Shanny, you are a disgrace. You are an embarrassment to the McCraw name. Jason is an embarrassment to the Egroff name. Both of you are embarrassments to your respective communities because neither one of you believed in the concept of opening up a book and reading it and getting informed about things before you started to run your mouth. Of course, Shanny, I want to start doing this at the end of all of my videos to make sure that you have an opportunity to defend yourself. If at any given time you want to come on my Revelation News channel, and Jason, if you want to come on my Revelation News channel, when you're ready to come on my platform and you want to have an opportunity to defend yourself, remember, I'm not you. You say I'm effeminate, but I'm not the one hiding behind that tree over there, talking smack behind a bulletproof glass over there. You have an open invite anytime you want to come on my platform and have a chat with me, with one rule and one rule only. Actually, you know what? You can have your camera on because I already know how to block that kind of stuff. So I've gotten pretty good at this StreamYard stuff. I know how to deal with people that want to try to porn bomb or anything like that. So, Shanny, by all means, please come to Revelation News and come on here and educate me. We all know you're cowardly lying behind it. You ain't even going to try it. And if you do, you know full well what's going to happen. Oh, my back is stiff. That lady doing over there, I need to be doing right now. Oh, my God, my back is stiff. I sit down too much. Wow. Woo. Borden Park. All right. So I got to go catch a bus now. All right. So I'm going to go and head back to my residence, which is about 12 minutes from here via bus. So I'm going to go do that real quick. And then hopefully I'll catch one of y'all videos later. But like I said, guys, Shanny and Rev needs to be canceled again. They haven't learned nothing. They ain't no different than they were when they was in Boulder, Colorado. They're still racist. They're still anti-Semitic. They're still all of the disgusting things that they were when they was in Colorado. Later, guys.